That morning started like most in Seattle's Madison Valley neighborhood.
Block sign is on, crossing East Harrison Street.
The shops open, buses ferrying people off to downtown, and the summer sun rising over the nearby hills. This home surveillance camera captured what seemed like a routine start to the day, with no hint of what was coming. At 9:45, this blue SUV comes to a stop. Inside, 80-year-old Ruth Dalton. She's making her morning rounds as a dog walker, and her client's dogs are in the car with her. For about 5 minutes, Ruth is stopped here on the side of the road. One of the dogs sticks their head out the back window. Nothing unusual at all. Ruth had been stopped for now about 10 minutes when a man approaches from behind. He walks past her car, seems to keep going, but quickly stops. He turns back, paces back and forth around Ruth's car, then approaches the passenger door. He opens it, and the car rocks forward, then speeds off. One of the dogs in Ruth's car got out during the melee. Off camera, police say the car crashed, and that man in blue, accused of attacking Ruth with a knife, pushing her out, then running her over while stealing her car. That is not visible in the video, but you do see the other dogs that were in her care take off running. Within minutes, police swarmed the street and crime tape closed off the area.
Yeah, a really alarming situation playing out here in the Madison Valley neighborhood this morning. We are just near Harrison and MLK Jr. Way, and this is where Seattle police confirmed to us that they're investigating a homicide.
The morning routine shattered, and the devastation of what actually happened here began to set in for the people of Madison Valley and Ruth's family.
Not what I expected to hear was that she had been killed in a carjacking.
Melanie Roberts is Ruth Dalton's granddaughter.
It's hard to think that a year ago I was having lunch with her and talking about my son's birthday.
For the last year, she has been fighting to get justice for Ruth, a fight that won't end anytime soon.
We're no further along in the court trial process than we were a year ago, which is extremely frustrating to me. And again, there's nothing I can do about it except for talk to you.
She says the day of Ruth's death was a blur. As detectives dealt with the crime scene where Ruth died, other officers began searching for her car and her dog Prince, who had been left inside during the carjacking. Police eventually got a call from animal control after a dog was found stabbed to death here at the South Seattle Park. Ruth's car was found not far away. Seattle was on edge and on alert after Ruth's murder. Her friends started a memorial as investigators tried to figure out who had killed her.
But we begin with KOMO's Jahmed Haynes, who was live at the suspect's house. Jeremy?
Yeah, things have moved very quickly in this case in the last 2 hours. We confirmed police made an arrest, and we are here at the suspect's home in Capitol Hill. It's inside of this apartment building. We've been talking to some of his neighbors. We know about him. He's an 8-time convicted felon. He's been convicted for vehicular homicide in the past, and now investigators say he carjacked and killed an 80-year-old woman.
Within a day, police narrowed in on a man named Jahmed Haynes. He lived in Seattle's Capitol Hill neighborhood and was well known to police. He'd served decades in prison for prior felonies, including vehicular homicide, robbery, and assault. Investigators say his fingerprints were found on Ruth's cell phone that was inside the same trash can where the body of her dog Prince was found. Haynes was arrested the next morning, and police said he had Ruth's car keys and a knife that had blood and animal hair on it. A neighbor of Haynes approached police and said that Haynes had asked him to give him a ride to a hospital in Tacoma for an injury to his hand. The friend said he asked Haynes why he didn't go to the hospital in Seattle, and Haynes reportedly responded that hospitals in Seattle wouldn't treat him. Police canvassed for video and said they believed the man in the carjacking was Haynes. He was charged with murder, assault, and animal cruelty, and a judge ordered him to be held without bail. The motive for the carjacking and Ruth's death, the police said, was random. Almost immediately, we started digging into Haynes' criminal history, which revealed a shocking development. Haynes had almost been sentenced to life without parole under Washington's 3-strike law. Court records show he had 3 violent felony convictions, including killing a man in a DUI crash in the early 90s, then committing an armed robbery, and finally assaulting a corrections officer in prison. That last conviction teed up Haynes to stay in prison for life, But as part of a plea deal with prosecutors in Snohomish County at the time, that charge was reduced, sparing him from life in prison.
He's got a pattern of violence against others, and that's what the three strikes are supposed to be about. It's 3 strikes are violent felonies against others. I wish that the state would step up. I personally, if I could have my dream, I would be having Ruth's Law that basically says if you are dumb enough to commit a 3rd strike, there's no plea deal, there's no negotiation. Like, you legitly have 3 strikes, you're out. You're not going to plead down a 3rd strike. That would have avoided all of this. And she wouldn't have been a victim, someone else wouldn't have been a victim. We would have been protected against a violent predator.
A year after his arrest, the main issue in the criminal case against Haynes is whether he is competent or incompetent to stand trial.
There's not a whole lot I can do right now. I have to put it in the hands of the courts, the judges, the prosecutor, and now I'm just the victim's family member.
This is a case where he was found incompetent, then restored to competency, then found incompetent again. What has that back and forth been like for you?
It's irritating, it's hurtful, I wish that all of this joke was over. But selfishly, I want that guilty verdict. I want that stamp on his file that says that she is his official 3rd strike, that she is the reason that he will never breathe free air again.
Haynes is receiving care at the Western State Hospital, where he's undergoing mental health treatment and receiving medication. Medical reports say he deteriorates when he doesn't take his medication, and there was discussion in court about forcing him to take the medicine while in custody. For now, he's staying at Western State until a court hearing later this fall.
I want him held accountable. I said from the very beginning, I told my husband, I told my family, I'm not going to be a quiet victim. I'm not going to be the quiet victim family member. I'm going to be as loud as I can and go as far as I can. And I want to make change.
On the 1-year anniversary of her death, friends gathered here at Madison Park Beach, an area that Ruth knew well. They honored her and dedicated a plaque to her. People brought their dogs and surrounded Ruth's family with what she loved the most: animals and friends.
Several people that day jumped in to try and save her life. What are your feelings towards them?
They are my family forever. I love them all. And there's many more than just Damon and John. Molly was instrumental in triaging and directing.
Your grandmother had those dogs in her care. You think her final act was trying to protect them?
She 1,000% was defending those animals. If she could have negotiated with him and said, here's my purse, here's my keys, just let me take the dogs, she would have done it in a heartbeat. She was fighting for them, and she was fighting for herself too, because my grandma was not a victim.